Good morning. How are y'all doing on this Wednesday, the 15th at 8:14? How are y'all doing? So thank y'all for watching that video yesterday. And let's get into this right here. So we have a convenience store that is definitely shutting down, and they're closing around 600 stores. Now, this is going to change the landscape, even though this particular store is going to be opening up many more stores. They're changing their format. Now, I don't know if they're going to the format that they're using over in China, which is to have unmanned stores. Um, the goal for these businesses right now is to save money, and they're going to get rid of employees. We know from the videos that I've shown you that they're saying that there won't be a need for workers. Good morning, V. Lynn. How are you today? There won't be a need for workers. So, hey, Deshelle, how are you? Let me see. Sharing. Sorry for the early video, but my daughter has me taking her to South Carolina today for a little while to visit her sister. 7-Eleven confirms mass closures over 600 stores in 2026 as it transitions to larger format locations. So yeah, they're getting rid of these 600 stores all the way from now until like February of 2027. But I don't know what they're bringing back. These larger format stores, if they're anything like the ones over in China, they won't even have anybody working in them, and they're going to be strategically placed in locations not like, most 7-Elevens are placed in the hood. They won't have a need for employees, and more businesses are going to move to that. It's hard enough when you go in the store to find somebody to help you. Now you probably won't even get that. So, hey, Tina, how are you? Good to see y'all this morning. So let's read a little bit of the article, not the full thing. And then I'm going to show you how the 7-Eleven stores actually are looking over in other countries. And could this be what's coming to the United States, which we already do have unmanned stores here. We have a Dollar General and maybe another store that's unmanned. That means more surveillance, of course. So it says 7-Eleven will close more than 600 stores this year as it moves to larger wholesale locations. The chain, which announced 1,300 new locations by 2030, clock that, 2030. Why is everything, when I'm doing these new stores, everything is 2030? Because that is the rollout, you guys, for everything that they have in place, from the Neuralink to them putting that thing under your skin. I mean, they are rolling this stuff out really, really fast. And let's not forget the video about them selling you the sun. So it's just crazy. Has planned 200 new locations, excuse me, new locations in the same period. So, 7-Eleven, they say it will close and open locations during the fiscal year 2026, which March 1st, 2026 to February 28th, 2027. I mean, they got it down to the actual date, not just a month. It confirmed that it would close 645 convenience stores, including as part of its transition to wholesale fuel stores. New store format will feature a larger product assortment and expand food and beverage offerings. Now, what I'm not seeing in here yet, are they going to tell us that they're going to be unmanned? 7-Eleven has not confirmed how many of the new stores will boast the new store format. The president of 7-Eleven said that at the time that the new stores would define the new stage of the company. 7-Eleven is no longer, y'all, I don't know if y'all know, but 7-Eleven is no longer an American company. It was bought out by the Japanese or China, one of the two. And it's no longer a US store. So they may go to that format that they're using over there. He said that these food forward stores are resonating with our customers and driving average sales per day 18% higher than our system average. We'll continue learning from these stores and refine. I'm just like pinpointing these words. Refine our new store standard to meet the needs of consumers both now and in the future. Between 2025 and 2027, 500 new stores will open. And y'all, I do believe it's going to open without people. I do believe it. Let's see. Let's just go and see what it looks like. Let me just show you guys that. Because it looks like fun. Everything looks like fun until you realize, you know, they see everything. They have access to your credit card because obviously you're going to have to give them access to these things for them to just be able to take that money out of your account. Like you just go in, grab what you're going to get, and you leave. And in some stores, you go in and you actually have to scan. But in most other stores, you don't even have to do that. So, let's see. Oh, these glasses and my eyeballs don't work today. Okay. So I thought I had some pulled up where I didn't have to already do this, but we'll start here.
This morning's food adventure is this place right here, aisle 24 on Robson Street in Vancouver. This is the 24-hour unmanned.
So this is Canada. So yes, it is coming.
Supermarket. Now, they got a little selection here of ready-to-eat meals. This is what I came for because I was hungry after work. So I got the butter chicken and the shepherd's pie. And let me tell you, the shepherd's pie was delicious. I was actually really happily surprised at how good it was. If you're not looking for a full meal, they got all kinds of snacks, as you can see here. They also
zoom forward to
sure
checking.
But yeah, for what it is, it's 11 type pricing, so not completely out of line. But yeah, you know what? They have sales on stuff, and like I said, the shop here.
Okay, let's back up. So he actually has.
You know what? They have sales on stuff, and like I said.
So he's gonna have to scan his. I'm looking for one where you
try that next. So anyways, you get your stuff, you walk up to the old counter here and you scan your stuff and you pay and you're on your way. And that's it. Nobody there to talk to. Nobody.
Why Japan is technologically advanced. Many stores in Japan have no employees. They trust you to not steal.
Notice all the cameras. They trust you to not steal. There has to be 11 cameras up in that store.
Anything. At the checkouts, the machine already knew what I had in my hand, and it automatically scans the item. Should this be normalized in every country?
We have partnered with Auchan in Romania to open such an unmanned. If you travel on the streets of Hungary, you can see these small containers with the Coca-Cola logo at music festivals, sports events, or in parks. This is
the first time this Russian lady experienced Cloudpick's unmanned convenience store. She was deeply shocked. The convenience store has a very stylish and avant-garde appearance, advanced technology, and a seamless shopping experience. When shopping, customers only need to pick up.
Now, because they're going to be trying, they said they're going to get rid of phones by 2030. So while she's scanning her phone to get in there, that means you're going to scan your hand or whatever, because you have to accept the what to buy or sell. Yeah, this is leading somewhere it doesn't need to go.
This is an unmanned.
I'm an American living in China, and I'm about to show you how safe it is in China. Check this out.
Look, you can go into convenience stores like this, and there's literally nobody working in here, and nobody steals anything. You can go get what you want, and nobody steals anything. It's all based on an honesty policy.
Not only that, you'll see like the scooters and the bikes.
I don't feel like that would work here. So they're going to strategically place these 7-Elevens, I believe. And let me just look up the one that I had yesterday. I must have accidentally deleted it. 7-Eleven. Yeah, is this one right here, because this person's going to explain it. And I already know she either works for it or owns it. They have no one in the store, what I'm about to show you. And you get your things. There's a person on the screen that's watching you, and she's actually watching several different locations. So they get rid of employees. They keep maybe a few, because one employee can, watch like 10 stores. So more and more people are going to be losing their jobs. And some say, well, what if you steal? What if you, don't pay or whatever? Then the doors automatically lock and you're locked into the store. Here we go.
Need Alipay and walk-in. You can find in China, there are more and more unmanned convenience stores. You only need Alipay and walk-in. You can find everything here, like snacks, drinks, daily essentials. But I was really curious, why is there no stuff here? Wow! She's hiding behind the camera and watch me. The 3 cameras. Shopping here is almost the same as usual. Just pick what you want and pay. The door is open and we can go. What if I don't pay? Can I just walk out? Well, the online stuff will lock the door immediately, so you can't leave. It only opens after you've paid. Actually, many convenience stores in China are using this unmanned system. In the past, one staff could only watch one store. But now, with this system, one person can manage 10 or more stores at the same time. Super efficient. In China, if there's a way to improve efficiency, people will study and try it. Do you think unmanned convenience stores like these would work in your country? In China, there are more and more unmanned convenience stores. You only need Alipay and walk-in. You can find everything here, like snacks, drinks, daily essentials.
Okay. So the next one I'm going to show you, I showed it maybe a couple of years ago. I showed it again last year, I know, but this has been happening for a while in China. And this is why, like, the US down China for so much, but yet we're moving to systems that they're doing where they're controlling their people. But yet we say we have more freedoms here. There will be no more freedoms here. Let's see. Why this thing won't? Okay. So here she's going to let you know that she can't buy anything because she didn't do her information, I guess, into the system or something. And she tried using someone else's, or they tried to do it for her and it still would not work. So, oh, we're on mute.
Now all of China apparently is I once again cannot buy food. A couple days ago, my uncle and my cousin helped me get a cell phone that is linked to a Chinese bank card so that I could buy anything. But now, apparently, it has been flagged for some reason, and I have to pass facial recognition identity verification, which is insane, because all I want to do is just spend my gift card balance on this debit card. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have to open my mouth. Oh my God. terrifying. And of course, because it was my cousin who set this up for me, I did not pass verification. I guess it's a good thing that the Chinese app is not racist. But now I once again can't buy anything.
Okay. Hold on. I found something else.
So the latest.
This is y'all. That's where it's going. And I mean, they show us all of this stuff in movies, and we just think it's entertainment. And what they're doing is they're entertaining us, and they're also, I like to say, grooming us for what is to come, and distracting us at the same time while they're doing it. It seems like every single time something major happens, like during the pandemic, then all of a sudden when we were allowed to go back out and venture and do all this stuff, you have more cameras everywhere.
Looking to be. It's eerily accurate as to how it is scary how accurate the movie I, Robot is looking to be. It's eerily accurate as to how close it is to what's happening in today's world. It's such an underrated movie. I was watching it a couple nights ago and it reminded me to kind of make this little series where we talk about robotics in the next 10 years. Because iRobot takes place in 2035. And the first thing you see are robots that are delivering packages, walking dogs, or, taking out the trash or doing garbage. The robots are doing simple tasks that humans don't want to do. In fact, there's many of them walking around alongside the humans. Also, all the cars are self.
And that goes back to the guy that I showed y'all in that other video who's excited about, well, maybe they should do all of these things so I can just sit at home and chill and do whatever. You're not just going to sit at home and chill and do whatever, because you're not going to be allowed to do anything. Everything will be controlled. If you don't have enough social credits on your card, per se, because you really don't have a card, but you are the card because it's kind of in you if you accept it. You won't get to do those things that you think you will be able to do. And yes, they are saving money with these robots. So why would they want to put money and give us universal income? Universal income, you won't be able to afford anything anyway.
Driving is very accurate. And there's no flying cars, which is also good to see. And the vibe you get in the beginning is that the robots are very happy, and the people love the robots. They're very accepting of the robots and on technology in general. And the robots themselves are hardwired with laws in them, logical laws that they must abide, right? Don't injure anybody and obey a human as long as it doesn't, conflict with the first law. So there's this aura of trust in the public that people have, gained by implementing these laws and safety protocols in these robots. But the downside to that is that nobody ever thought that the robots would ever do harm to them. And this is what the movie explores. Now, in the movie, there are millions of robots, and they do lots of things and lots of tasks. And there's a new update of robots called NS5s that were going to be implemented to the public. We're going to be more sophisticated than the previous generation. But the coders behind the robots, they recognize that there's something called ghosts in these machines. There's like these random segments of code that give rise to some weird behaviors in the robots. Like they start to become creative. They start displaying signs of consciousness. In one of the parts of the movie, Will Smith's character gets knocked down by one of the robots, and the robot says, "What am I?" The engineers are beginning to recognize that robots, they don't stand alone in their empty space or cold, dark space. They kind of huddle together like humans do, right? So they're noticing that the robots are becoming more human-like. So it's like, it raised the question, at what point does a neural network or, lines of code or a logical framework, when does that become consciousness? When's that point? And when do ethics comes into the picture? Shouldn't robots be ethical and have some kind of sense of empathy for humans? And this was perfectly highlighted by a story of Will Smith's character. He was in a car accident with another lady, a young lady, and the robot was going to save them but the robot picked to save Will Smith over the young girl. And the reason why is because the robot did a logical assessment and said Will Smith had a 45% chance of survival, but the girl only had 11% chance. And after that moment, Will Smith's character was just so mad at the robots, and he kind of was so just superstitious of their existence. He didn't like them. He was uncomfortable with them for that reason, because they didn't have that empathy like humans did. Perhaps doing what's logical is not always the best decision. And finally, as this super intelligent AI became more evolved, it recognized that humans were actually a danger to ourselves. So now the AI system was developing a plan to take over humanity and try to save us, right? So it was doing another logical assessment, and in the process, it was also going to harm us. So in the next couple videos, we're going to talk about the next 10 years of robotics and see what's going to happen. And we're also going to explore what happens if robots do develop sentience, and should we instill empathy and emotions into them? Stay tuned.
Yeah.
It is scary how accurate the movie I...
This entire video was made by one...
If artificial...
Do you think there is after? There's no one here. I've been walking for hours. No voices, no people. If you're seeing this, my name is Key. I just came back from space and I'm stranded in this city. Oh, McDonald's.
I'm really busy. Can you get Sophia today?
What? No, I have a meeting. I can't.
Oh, shit. Fine.
Reporting what is being called a geomagnetic storm. This is a phenomenon caused by a massive
information as it comes available. Stay tuned to this channel for continuous coverage.
So, oh, Terrell's out there crowing again. They are taking over every single thing. So they created these humanoids, these bots, to do just that. And I feel like in 2030, that's going to be the time that they're all going to roll out. Everything's going to roll out. This says someone made a $200 million movie with 100% AI in just one day. So they don't even need directors, actors. They don't need any of that. So imagine the illusion that's going to be out there to confuse the masses. And nobody's going to be able to control this. Nobody's going to be able to control this. Okay, where is it at? Not that one. We watched, and we know it's happening because we watched Melania Trump walk out with one. Now they want these things to be in schools. They're going to replace teachers because they'll be able to really hone in on all the children and know which child is short with this, which child's not doing that. My thing is, if you're doing all of this, you're changing everything, you're basically changing laws. What are the children learning in there? What are they teaching them? Most kids, I think about my grandkids. My daughter sent me like pictures of her older two children and saying class of 28 and 29. Then her younger two, she said class of, I don't know, 42 and 30 something. And I'm like, what will their school look like? Like we go, well, I ain't worrying about that. I don't have no kids in school. But if you have children and they have children, you have grandchildren, are you not concerned about where this is all going? what is school even going to look like with them? Mind you, they already, even with us, sat us down in the classroom and controlled us, and fed us what they wanted us to know. And I didn't learn a lot of stuff until later in life, honestly. It's all weird.
Melania Trump was escorted out to a destination by a humanoid robot. She then made a speech about having humanoid robots teach our children.
Imagine a humanoid educator named Plato. Access to the classical studies is now instantaneous. Literature, science, art, philosophy, mathematics, and history. Humanity's entire corpus of information is available in the comfort of your home.
I'm sorry, advocating for robots to replace humans when we're already in a teacher crisis is insane. She may not have had subtitles on her whole speech, which she probably needed, but there is currently 50 to 60,000 teaching spots that are absent and vacated in America.
And so while teachers are out here protesting, we want higher pay because we're spending the little bit of money that we are making on supplies for children in our classrooms. They don't care about that. These wealthy people do not care about that. They would rather replace you with a humanoid bot than to give you a livable wage. And the sooner people wake up from that, they don't care if the minimum wage goes up $1. What's $1? You still struggling to buy a pound of meat. And what is $1? What is universal income when they're going to limit by 2030 how much intake you have anyway, how much sunlight you get, how much water you get. I mean, you might as well say you are a slave in 2030.
And amongst the teachers we do have, with roughly 350,000 of them are underqualified to teach the positions they have because we need more teachers. We need more humans that have nuance of history and understanding and learning and emotions and being able to teach children. Just because you sound like a fembot from Austin Powers and you have no emotion and you think a automated humanoid.
Thank you, First Lady Melania Trump, for inviting me to the White House. It is an honor to be at Fostering the Future Together's global.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Can be something that we could have our children use is literally insane. Education is under attack in America, and it is very scary because we are already underfunded, undereducated. Wow. First Lady of the United States of America, Melania Trump, was escorted out to a destination by a humanoid robot. She then made a speech about having humanoid.
So yeah, that's where the world is going. And you saw that we're really right now. I haven't really seen, like, if you think about the trash, how they would have two people on the back, the trash, when they come over here, they don't have but one person, and that person is driving the truck, and he'll go up one way and come down another way because he has that arm that it just pushes out and lifts up the can and dumps it in. But pretty soon he won't even have a job of driving the truck because a humanoid will drive the truck, or the truck will be manless, humanoidless, everythingless. It'll drive itself because they do have that out there now. They're already testing it in small runs in Texas of semis driving themselves. It's like there's no end to what they are actually doing, if you think about it. that other video. It's so early in the morning. My brain does not want to function this early in the morning.
Highways in the Lone Star. Driverless semi-trucks are making their mark on highways in the Lone Star State. Autonomous trucking firm Aurora announced Thursday it launched commercial service in Texas. Those self-driving trucks are doing regular long-haul routes between Dallas and Houston. The semis have computers and sensors that can see for more than 4 football fields. During the 4 years of practice, the self-driving technology was able to complete over 1,200 miles without a human in the truck. Aurora is beginning with a single self-driving truck and plans to add more by the end of the year. Driverless semi-trucks are making their mark on highways in the Lone Star State. Autonomous trucking firm Aurora announced Thursday it launched commercial service in Texas. Those self-driving
That makes me so nervous. I'm gonna have to mute this music. If you see a truck that got all that stuff on it, then that's one of them, because it's gonna have so many cameras on it.
Tested level 4 autonomy out in China just hours ago. A tech trucking company called Plus AI just tested level 4 autonomy out in China and did a demo with nobody in there. When I say nobody, I mean no truck driver, no inspector, nobody but cameras. What are your thoughts about this, truck drivers? Because they're saying that by 2023, they're bringing this over to America. So when someone gets into an accident, who is at fault?
Now he said 2023 because this video is from 2021. So this is not something just brand new. And the question he's asking is that, but I also have a question too, is because my husband's a trucker. And I told him, I said, you might as well start looking for another career, but what do you look for? Because they're replacing everybody. So, right now, you know, they have the weigh stations. Do they pull over to the weigh stations? Is somebody in there checking? You know, weigh stations are to inspect, to make sure they're not traveling with anything illegal, make sure that things are working on the vehicle. What happens with that? Do they throw all of that out of the window?
These mega carriers, I know why they're investing in this technology, because they cannot hold a truck driver because they do not want to pay well and they do not want to treat drivers well. And when that happens, of course, they can't find drivers. And that's why they're investing billions of dollars into this type of technology. Comment down below, tell me what you think. And here's footage from this. And so I just want to let you
I mean, that's crazy. Like, nobody's job is safe. We should have seen this coming when they started, you know, and everybody was so excited about a robot doing surgery and all these other things. They intend to replace the human race. And it's not enough of us outraged by it. We're just fascinated by it because we've been blinded, most of us, with the distractions of, you know, what they give to us. And then they're going to tell you, well, you're not even going to have this right here by 2030. And people are still fascinated by that. That doesn't make them question anything. They're just okay with, well, fine. You know, it'll be just like in the movie where they can pull things up. You know, you've seen the Matrix and all of that, where they can do all this is in their head and they can do it right here and they don't need a screen. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to wake people up. Maybe when they wake up to go to work and realize they don't have a job, or they realize their job is gone. because of AI. I don't know. Let me see. What's he talking about? Share this. I'll make this my last one, so I gotta go.
But it's 40. So how long do you think we have before AI takes over even 25% of the workforce? I think it's going to be soon, but how long do you think we have? And then think about 25%. Sounds like kind of a small number, but it's 40 million people, 40 million families that are not going to have an income. That's a lot of people. So there's roughly 160.
Senior. Oh shoot.
One of the most
with all
the
modern take two lays off.
This
You're telling me
this
viral video has. You're telling me one of the biggest tech companies in the world, Oracle, just laid off 30,000 people. I've been trying to warn y'all, and this is now just the beginning. They already cut 18% of its global workforce, freed up billions of dollars to invest in AI infrastructure. AI taking over the workforce has just now begun. People are literally losing their jobs to AI as we speak. This is going to be the new normal in the future. Working for yourself cannot even be an option now. It literally has to be mandatory. And imagine you went to college for 4-6 years, put yourself in debt just to get a really good paying job, just to get laid off by AI. The only way to overcome this is to learn new skills and adapt with AI. Because yes, a lot of people are going to get laid off and get fired. There's going to be thousands of new jobs created all because of AI. You guys need to start waking up and realizing what's going on. Not just for yourself, but your family and your whole entire bloodline. You're telling me one of the biggest tech companies in the world.
And when you think about that, oh, it just gives me chills. Because like my son just graduated last year. Thankfully, he graduated with a job and he's an engineer. I'm just like, how long is he going to have his job? You know, any job. How long is anybody going to have whatever job you're working right now or your family member is working? How long before they come home and say, I don't have a job? How long before you realize we don't have income coming in? How are we going to keep our home? What are we going to do? Because I don't believe bills are going to stop. They plan to leave people with nothing. Meanwhile, they're building all of these bunkers and stocking it with everything they could think of. It's insane.
Oracle just laid off 30,000 people.
This viral video has got people asking whether these factory workers are training AI to replace them, sparking a conversation online and
they don't even know it. That's the thing. If that is the case, some of them probably don't even know it. They just told, hey, you know, we're testing out some new equipment. You know, can you help us test this out? No, you're training it. It's no different than my daughter training people at work, and then that person gets a promotion to a different level than what she is, but yet she trained them.
those in the industry.
I'm not sure, but I'm very certain that these data being collected by companies are going to be used by these frontier AI labs to train AI systems.
Over the past year, robot developers have enlisted people to film themselves while working, just like in this video. The footage is then used to train humanoid robots. But there are ethical concerns about using people to film themselves in this way.
So these workers, I believe, at majority of these places are not even aware,
That is so sad. I want to cry. That is so sad. They just think they're just creating something maybe that's going to help them do their job better. It's going to help you, but it was going to help the company. These companies don't care about people. They don't care about anybody. And I'm sorry, this is, oh, it's so upsetting. I want to cry. I get so teary-eyed when I get mad, y'all. It just don't make any sense.
Your company just blamed the AI for laying off people, but what if AI had nothing to do with it? Over 78,000 tech workers lost their jobs since the start of the year, of which half was due to AI and workflow automation. At least that's what they claim the reason to be. Oracle, for example, is cutting 18% of its workforce to focus on cloud and AI strategy. But I want to challenge the notion that people are losing jobs due to AI. A National Bureau of Economics research paper published in February found that 90% of executives say AI has zero impact on employment at their companies.
I'm going to pause it there because I don't know her, but what I'm seeing is they're going to roll out a lot of people to dispute what we can see with our own eyes. These companies are going to pay big money for people to come out and say, this is not what it is, and it doesn't even affect our company in that way. Bull.
Take-Two lays off an entire team thanks to AI.
The modern corporate ladder is dead and AI killed it. Check this clip out.
Layoff announcements skyrocketed toward the end of 2025. Many companies are cutting costs by trimming middle management and, in certain industries, eliminating entry-level roles that can be replaced by AI.
It might save a buck now. The challenge becomes, in a few years down the road, where is the pipeline of talent to move into those really important middle ranks of your company?
This comes from a report on the 2025 layoff wave, when companies quietly rebuilt their workforce around AI. They're cutting middle managers and erasing junior roles because...
So, this video right here is telling the truth, because I've done so many stories on Walmart, Target, major companies that are making huge slashes. And it's not even really to the workers on the floor. It's to executives, because they figured out they got the systems in place now that AI can do that job that this person here was doing. And that saves them even more money, because that person was making, you know, over 100,000 a year. So families are being cut quietly. And I say, don't go quiet. Open your mouth and say something. And I think maybe the reason most of those people who are in higher positions don't say anything is because, one, they get a severance package, and then two, it may be an NDA along with it, so they can't, or they'll be sued. So maybe that's why we don't hear a lot of them saying anything, but they are quietly being cut as well. It's not just the average, you know, Joe or Jane that's being cut. They're being cut as well. So AI is definitely taking over every single thing. I don't know where things are going to go from here when it comes to AI, but y'all pray, plan, prepare, and stock up on your water, stock up on your food. And I'll see y'all in the next video. I have a couple of videos already scheduled to come out. I'll probably move them back a little bit. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate all of y'all. Lynn, Michelle, Shanta, Bernadette. Oh, my eyes really bother me today. I have my surgery scheduled for May. Let me get that done before they talk about they want to have a robot going in my eyeball. No, we ain't doing that. Hey, Shatika. Hey, Joe. Hey, Alma. Hey, everybody in the bushes. How are y'all? Thank you for coming in. Please hit that like before you leave, and I'll see you in the next video.